Hi class. So as you can see, we made it to lesson 100. Yay for us. Okay, I hope you're having a good day. So today we're talking about something called algebraic addition. Okay, as you guys head further and further in your math, you're going to come to the point where we don't really have addition and subtraction. Everything is going to be addition, okay? So we're going to talk about that toward the end of this lesson. The first part of the lesson is where we are going to be adding integers. Now remember what integers are. Integers are whole numbers and their opposites, okay? So whole numbers starting with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then their opposites, -1, -2, -3, -4, on like that, okay? So we're going to use a number line to help us. Okay, now think about a number line like this, and then think about if we turned the number line vertical like this is what we would have with a temperature gauge, okay, a thermometer, okay? So a good example would be for us to think about if it was 0 degrees, okay, 0 degrees. If we start at 0 and the temperature drops 5 degrees, then we would call that a -5, right? If the temperature dropped 5 degrees, that would take us down to here to -5 degrees. If it dropped another 5 degrees, so we would have another 5-degree drop, another -5, that would take us down to -10, okay? So we had two negative numbers, and when we added them, we got another negative number, okay? So keep that in mind as we work with this number line to kind of see what happens when we add integers with different signs, okay? So I'm going to use my number line as a way to chart these positive and negative numbers. So if I have a positive number, that means I'm going to be going in the positive direction, right? And a negative number takes me toward this negative direction, okay? So in my first example here, I have +5 plus a +1. So I'm going to start at 0, and I'm going to do what it says. Go to the right. Positive means to the right, 5, okay? So that takes me over to here, right? This is +5, +5. And then it tells me to add a +1, so I'm going to go one more in the positive direction. So that's going to take me one more this way, which takes me to +6. This is the kind of addition we've been doing since K4, right? K3. They're both positive numbers, so I end up with a positive answer, right? Now look at my next example. I'm going to erase the arrows that I just drew. My next example says -2 plus a -3. So I'm adding two negative numbers this time. So I'm going to start at 0, and it says to go 2 in the negative direction, right? So I'm going to go here. -2 takes me here to -2, right? And then it tells me to go 3 more in the negative direction. So I need to go 3 more this way. 1, 2, 3. So 3 more in the negative direction. That takes me to -5. Okay, so a +2 or a -2 plus a -3 takes me to -5. Two negative numbers, when I added them together, I got a negative answer, right? Now let's see what happens on this next one. Should not have circled that 5. Or -5. Okay. So on this next one, I have +5 plus -5. So I'm going to start at 0. +5 means I go 5 in the positive direction, right? That takes me here, +5. Now it says to add a -5. So from here, I'm going to go 5 in the negative direction. That's left. -5. Guess what that took me back to? 0. Now, I want you to take a look at this. +5 and -5, when I combined them, they gave me 0. Well, the reason for that is that +5 and -5 are opposites. Okay? So here's the number 0. Here's a +5, 5 units to the right of 0. -5 is 5 units to the left of 0. Okay? So they're the same distance away from 0 on the number line. One's just in the positive direction, and 1 is in the negative direction. So positive 5 and negative 5 are opposites. So if I said, what's the opposite of 7? You would say negative 7. What's the opposite of negative 3? Positive 3. Okay? Let's try another one. Let me erase this. Negative 3 plus positive 5. So I'm going to start at 0. I'm going to go 3 in the negative direction. 1, 2, 3, right? That's negative 3. And then it tells me to go 5 in the positive direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That takes me to positive 2. Okay? You guys see why a number line helps us to figure these out? Eventually you get to the point where you don't need the number line. Okay? But as we're starting out, we're going to use this number line. Positive 2 plus a negative 5. Okay, start at 0, go 2 in the positive direction, 1, 2, and then 5 in the negative direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That takes me to negative 3. Okay? One more. Negative 1 plus a negative 3. Okay, start at 0, go to negative 1, so I go 1 in the negative direction, there, plus a negative 3. So I need to go 3 more in the negative direction, right? 1, 2, 3. So that takes me to negative 4. Okay? Okay. Now we're going to head to what's called algebraic addition, okay? This is not going to be easy for some of you to understand. This is your first exposure to it, though, baby. Okay? So if it's hard to understand, that's okay. Okay? We're going to practice it a lot. You're going to hit it next year and the next year. Okay? This is not the last time that you're going to have this because you're going to end up using it through the rest of your math career. Okay? Okay, algebraic addition. Go ahead and get this definition in your notebook. Algebraic addition. Algebraic addition means that instead of subtracting, we will add the opposite of a number. Get that in your notebooks and then we're going to practice it. Add the opposite. Okay, that's what I was talking about. When you get into algebra type stuff, we don't really subtract anymore. Everything's addition. Okay, because if we hit a subtraction, we're going to change the subtraction to addition, and then the next number, we're going to use the opposite of it. Okay? Okay, so look at this first example. I'm going to read it out loud. Negative 3 minus 5. So when you're using algebraic addition, if you hear that minus word, that's what we're going to change to addition. Okay? It says we're going to change it to addition, and then the next number, we're going to use the opposite of it. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I did. Negative 3 minus 5. Okay, so now I have negative 3. Instead of minus, I'm going to add, and the opposite of 5 is negative 5. Let me say that again. Negative 3 minus 5. So I'm going to use algebraic addition. That means I need to change this minus. Negative 3, instead of minus, we're going to use addition. Okay, so now this has changed to addition. And instead of 5, we're going to use the opposite of 5, which is negative 5. Okay? So now I have negative 3 plus a negative 5. Now it looks like what we've been doing on the last whiteboard. The final answer there is negative 8. If you need to draw a number line to see this, that's fine. Okay, start at 0. We go to negative 3. And then we go 5 more in the negative direction. That takes us to negative 8. Negative 5 minus negative 3. Okay, so when you hear that minus, that's when we change it to addition, and then we use the opposite of the next number. So instead of negative 5, instead of minus, we're going to add. Okay, and the opposite of negative 3 is positive 3. So now I have negative 5 plus a positive 3, and that gives me a negative 2. Okay? Positive 6 minus 3. There's that minus again. So we want to change this minus. We want to change it to addition. But then I have to use the opposite of the next number. The opposite of 3 is negative 3. So I have positive 6 plus negative 3, The answer there is positive 3. Okay, last one on here. Negative 3 minus negative 3. We heard that minus, so we're going to change the minus to addition. And we're going to use the opposite of the next number. Okay, so now it's negative 3 plus positive 3. Negative 3 and positive 3 are opposites. So I have a negative 3 plus a positive 3 gives me 0. Okay. Now sometimes you guys see that I have parentheses on some and I don't have parentheses on others. They are using that in your book to get you used to seeing parentheses. Okay. It's when you have something like plus a plus. Okay. It's better to have it in parentheses instead of a plus sign right next to a plus sign without the parentheses. Okay. But we're going to get more used to using the parentheses. Don't let the parentheses fool you. Okay. Okay, so what I'd like for you to do is do your practice set. The first part, they're already addition, okay? The last few, you're going to have to change the subtraction to addition and then the opposite of the number that's after the subtraction sign, okay? Try it out, pause the video, and then start it back up to check your work. Okay, practice set. A, we had negative 3 plus a positive 4. That gave us positive 1. Negative 3 plus a negative 4 gives us negative 7. Guys, if you need a number line, go ahead and draw it and then just keep reusing it, okay, to work out these different ones. Negative 3 plus a positive 3 gives us 0. Positive 4 plus a negative 3 gives us positive 1. Positive 3 plus a negative 4 gives us negative 1. Positive 10 plus a negative 5 is positive 5. Negative 10 plus a negative 5 is negative 15. Negative 10 plus a positive 5 is negative 5. The opposite of negative 8 is positive 8. The opposite of positive 4 is negative 4. 0 doesn't really have an opposite because the 0 is not a signed number. 0 is neither positive nor negative. So 0 is just 0. Okay, these last ones are the algebraic addition ones, okay? So we had negative 3 minus negative 4. So instead of minus, we're going to change it to addition. I'm going to use the opposite of negative 4, which is positive 4. Okay, so now I have an addition problem. Negative 3 plus positive 4 gives us positive 1. Negative 4 minus positive 2. We're going to change this minus sign to addition. And the opposite of positive 2 is negative 2. So now I have negative 4 plus negative 2 gives us negative 6. N, positive 3 minus negative 6. My minus is going to change to addition. The opposite of negative 6 is positive 6. Positive 3 plus positive 6 is positive 9. Last one, negative 2 minus negative 4. Our minus is going to change to addition. The opposite of negative 4 is positive 4. Negative 2 plus positive 4 gives us positive 2. Okay? Now there are more examples in your book. I did not use the examples on my whiteboard that are in your book so that you have more examples from your book to use. Okay? Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.